Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 194. You're on season 1. And today we are getting into 12% return on my Acorns account and making bigger deposits. This question comes from Edison Alvarez. And he asks or says, 8% on Acorns account, ? How? I'm barely making 3% return on it. Is it better to do a big deposit every now and then or do more consistent small deposits? So like I said before, my account actually is over 11%. It's actually at 11.85%. So closing in on 12, I expect it to hit 12 probably in the next 2 months or so, especially with dividends getting paid out here shortly on a lot of the ETFs that I do hold. But honestly, there's really no secret to my account and set up on my account. It's basic principles that I apply to the Acorns account that basically govern, and the system that I have in place is not really a secret. What I do over there is I deposit $20 biweekly. So that roughly is about 31 or 27, 26-ish so deposits. And then a year, so $20 biweekly, and then I make a $5 deposit once a month. I also have the roundups turned on my account. I don't plan on ever turning those off, so that's kind of, I guess, like a sporadic investment here and there. And then about twice a year, I make a $25 deposit, and that's the money that we make off of our credit card that I just take from there and then deposit into that savings account. So it's more cash back from our credit card. I guess we don't make money off of it or whatever. And also, lastly, I just reinvest the dividends. So I never actually pulled any money out of there of my Acorns account. Every single dividend that gets paid gets reinvested in those ETFs, and it continues to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow from there. However, I think the factor that no one's talking about, especially a lot of people that I've been watching, they don't talk about, is the time factor, the X factor, which we call time. As a long-term investor, I believe that time is honestly your most valuable asset to the actual account. That's just my personal opinion. And this is because the longer that you have an actual account open, the longer ability it has to continue to compound. So for instance, if I only had a 1-year account, my dividends would only compound once or actually not even once. I would just pull all my money out after those dividends get paid basically. However, if I was to do it for 2 years, I would compound those dividends, and then those dividends would pay me a little tiny bit of more dividend, and so on and so forth. So that's why I believe that time is more important than any other strategy that you have, especially on Acorns, to say the least. Also, the nice thing about that time is that it gives your original investment time to produce some money, and then gives that money time to make you more money. So honestly, what happens is you put your first investment in, initial investment, and then that pays you dividends. Eventually, that investment will get to the initial investment amount, probably about 10 to 15 years. You'll basically make all that money back. And then from there, that money will all again make you another little stockpile of money while you still have this money, and then you're making money off of your money's money. So I think that's a great idea. That's why I like long-term investing, and I think that it's a great idea to do. So for me, my account, I've had my account for 1 year and 9 months, which is a long time for most people that are using Acorns. Most people are going to have it probably for about 6 months. However, we're focusing on the long term with Acorns. Really, all I can tell you is that you just need to give it time to grow. Let the time do its work. Let the compound interest go to work. So the second question is it better to do large deposits or make more consistent smaller deposits? And my personal belief is that I believe it's better to do smaller, more consistent deposits instead of doing large, bigger deposits. Typically, when we do large, bigger deposits, we're looking at trying to time the market when it's lower and trying to catch a good rise or whatever it is. However, Acorns platform is not exactly set up for that. It's really hard to do that on the Acorns platform. Other type of platforms that might be a little bit easier. Acorns is set up to just dollar cost average and make those regular deposits. So I believe that making those smaller ones will help give you a better dollar cost average on any ETF that's on there. Thus, that's why I say make smaller deposits. Also, making smaller deposits, being able to make like smaller, consistent deposits will help take the emotional aspect out of actual investing. It will become more of a bill that you pay every month instead of I don't have to make that deposit this month. Say you were doing $100 a month instead of $400 every 4 months. So you did $100 every single month, and you're like, oh, well, it's $100 a month. I just pay that bill, or whatever, $50 every 2 weeks. And I just deposit that money in there. And then or on the other hand, you were doing $100 or $400 every 4 months, and needless to say, you came up and you needed $400, and you're like, oh crap, like well, that's okay because I got this money that I was going to invest in here, but now I got $400, so I'm just going to take that money. I'm going to use 200 of it for this, and then 200 of it I'm just going to invest in. Don't worry about it; it'll be okay. So I think that that's the problem that we run into when we're contemplating making larger deposits. I always think it's better to make smaller, more manageable deposits. And like I said, it will become a system, it will become a routine, and so it will be as if that money's not even there, and then just continues to get deposited, and that account will grow. On the flip side, if you were to get like a bonus paid from your company, you were to do a yard sale and make quite a bit of money, friends were to give you money, birthdays came around, Christmas came around, and you were to, get like a bonus in essence, and you're like, I want to make a deposit into my Acorns account with this money. Should you do a smaller deposit on that and just do like a regular deposit over like $500, or should you just deposit it all at one time? And me personally, what I would do with that is I believe that it should be deposited all at one time, because that $500 will slip between your fingers and be gone before you know it. That's just the way that we work, and especially if it's already been allocated towards Acorns, then I would just put it in there, because really it doesn't matter a whole lot. And if you wait on it, if you sit on it, it's going to be next $400 in a month, $200 in a month, or whatever. Like, you're going to go to the movies, you're going to go this, you're going to go that, you're going to go out to eat, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, your $500 is now $250, and you're like, well, I might as well just spend the rest of it, or whatever it may be. So that's what I'm saying when it comes to those bonuses. However, still making those consistent deposits and then adding a bonus here every now and again, I think probably actually is the best idea. Let's go ahead and dive into the question of the day, which is, what was the last thing you bought? The last thing I purchased was actually a Stash Invest shirt for one of the winners that we had on our Stash Live Chat, which is a Facebook group that I help moderate. We do I help do the live stream over there every Tuesday. And last week we did a giveaway. We gave away a Stash Invest shirt, and so that was the last thing I purchased. I purchased it for someone else, and it's getting shipped out there today. So anyways, that's, I guess, the last thing I bought. But like I always say, if you guys have any questions regarding Stash, Acorns, Robinhood, as well as general investing advice, business, Etsy, coaching, post those questions down below, and I will try to get them on the next episode. And don't forget to subscribe up here and check out Stash Recap November edition. Check out this other video right here. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.